but they're pretty natural as you shoot. Okay? And it keeps you in a routine so you can do well. So let's talk about them as we go. Now, you only have one sheet in front of you because I'm going to talk about them loudly in front of everyone, so I just put them out there so that at least a few people can see them. All right, let's talk about number one first, the stance. Number one, stance. You got to have a good stance. Just like in any athletic sport or activity, you want to have a good base, solid base. Shoulder width apart. My legs are going to straddle the shooting line, which means the shooting line should go right between my legs. I'm right-handed, Ty, so I'm going to face the weight room. You will all face the weight room because you're all right-handed. We'll all shoot. My target is over here, so I'm not facing the target. I'm facing away from my target. Okay? Knock. Knock is number 2 on the list. I got to put my arrow on my bow in order to shoot it. There's only one way to do it, so pay attention. The back of my hand must face downrange when I pick up my arrow. That way, when I pick up my arrow, look what happens to it. Where does it point? Downrange. And what did I say? Where's the safe area? Downrange. That's where we want everything to point because we don't want people down there, so that's the safe area. So I'm going to point it downrange. I'm going to pick my arrow up and over my bow. So my bow's in front of me. And I'm going to clip it onto the serving string. Did you hear that click? Below the knock point. Okay? Got to hear the click. Then we know that it's knocked correctly. And the last thing I do is I check to make sure that that odd color fletching, remember that one I talked about, is facing towards you, towards your chest, towards your face. If it's not, you can just give the arrow a twist and that knock, it'll spin and knock and get it right where you need it. Okay? I'm ready to go. My arrow's on its rest. It's knocked properly. I'm ready to go to number 3, which is set draw hand. Now my draw hand is the hand that I'm pulling the string back with. This one. Everybody put up 3 fingers like this. Okay? You're going to use the first knuckle of your fingers to pull the string back. Like this. If this was the bow that I was using, and I'm getting ready to pull it back, I'm going to pull it back just below the arrow, and I'm going to hold it in my archer's groove, which is the first line of knuckles on my finger. See how it's just kind of sitting on there and just my tips of my fingers are showing? I am not, I'll get to your question in a minute, I am not going to grab the bow or the string around it like this. I can shoot like this. You could do it. But you're not going to be very accurate because then what you're going to do is let go and it's not as smooth as a movement as the release is if you're in your archer's groove where you just let it roll off. So I'm going to take those 3 fingers, put it right there underneath and pull back from there. Okay? Next thing on the list is what? Set draw hand? Or no, set bow hand? Number 4? Set bow hand. That's the hand that holds the bow. See, these aren't that hard. They make pretty sense, good logic sense. Okay, so archer's groove with my draw hand. I set my bow hand, that's what I call my lifeline, right in here like so. And now I'm ready at pre-draw. Now pre-draw I found is the one thing that most 6th graders mess up. Pre-draw, you need to straighten your bow arm right out in front of you. Okay? A lot of 6th graders when they first shoot, they want to go like this and push and pull at the same time. And that's not correct. We set our draw, our bow arm, our pre-draw up here like this, and then we pull or draw back to our anchor point. Okay? So 6 is draw. So set draw hand, draw, and anchor. Number 7 is anchor. Now anchor, have you ever been in a boat? Take the anchor, you throw it out, what's it do? What's the anchor do? Right, keeps you still, keeps you from not moving. So the anchor here is a point that you are going to actually drop your anchor every single time in the same spot so everything's still. So when I pull my string back, I'm going to stop at the corner of my mouth. This finger right here, everybody show it to me. It's in your archer's groove. So you're going to pull it back to the corner of your mouth right here. You're going to wait and stop there. You're not going to go further. You're not going to go up, touch your nose, or down to your chin. Because if you change your angle on your anchor point, you're not going to be as accurate. But if we anchor at the same time, same place every time, we're going to be more accurate with our shooting. it's going to be easier to shoot tighter groups and score more points. Okay? So we're going to anchor at the corner of our mouth. Aiming. You're going to aim a little bit differently. I like to shoot with two eyes open, which works well for some people. I like to aim with two eyes open at the target and then release. Some people will find it easier to close one eye. If you're right-handed, you'll close your left eye so that the eye that's directly over the arrow shaft is the one that you're aiming with. And you'll use that arrow point to point to the target, release, and then you can see where it hits. If it hits high, how do you think you're going to aim next time? A little lower, okay? So aiming is going to be a little bit different for everyone, but you're going to anchor first and then aim. Follow the steps. All right, the last three. Shot setup, release, and follow through. The shot setup is the second one that most people forget to do, and that is truly relax. It's hard to shoot when you're all tense and not ready to release, because then you're herky-jerky and arrows go all over the place. Okay? Here's how I do it, and you might find it helpful for you. When I find my anchor point and I'm aimed, I just breathe out, and then I'm ready to release and follow through. When you release, all you're doing is you're letting the string roll off your fingers, and as you're doing that, you're kind of pulling it back, and you're just going to brush your shoulder with your thumb. Look at my shoulder blades. If I release here, they kind of pinch together. That's all you're doing. Okay? So let me shoot a couple so you can see what it looks like. So I come on up here. I've already got my stance set. We talked about that. I've already knocked my arrow onto my bow. I'm going to set my draw hand, archer's groove. I'm going to set my bow hand. Pre-draw, I'm going to straighten out my arm. I'm going to draw, anchor, aim, shot set up, release, and follow through. Without talking, here we go, let's see if I can do it. When I'm done, I go to my next arrow. And I go through the steps again. Arrow pointing down range, page. Every single time I clip it, I go through my steps. If I'm not sure, they're right here in front of me. Okay, when I'm finished shooting, I put my bow back on the rack, and I do not go to my arrows. Why would I not want to go to my arrows? Yes, Anna.
That's the shooting range, and all the arrows are going to be shot down.
Correct. You will get a command to go get your arrows once all bows are up and nobody's shooting anymore. So you'll actually come back here, which is called the waiting line. Okay? All right, so I'm going to teach you now how to move safely through the